Maharishi Panini, the father of Sanskrit grammar, was born in Shalatula, a small hamlet near Atok, on the banks of the Indus River, now in present-day Pakistan. There are no accurate dates on when he was born, but experts believe that he lived between the 4th and the 7th century BC, and that his treatise on Sanskrit grammar is called Ashtadhyayi or Astaka. Panini was a Sanskrit grammarian who is credited for creating a comprehensive scientific theory of phonetics, phonology, and morphology. In fact, many call him the father of linguistics. Sanskrit was a classical literary language of the Hindus, and Panini is considered the founder of the language and its deep literary foundation. It is interesting to note that the word Sanskrit means complete or perfect and is believed by many to this day a divine language and even the language of the gods. A treatise called Ashtadhyayi, which translates into 8 chapters, is Panini's major work. These are, in turn, each subdivided into quarter chapters. In this work, Panini distinguishes between the language of sacred texts and the colloquial language of communication used on a day-to-day basis. Panini gives formal production rules and definitions to describe Sanskrit grammar. Starting with about 1700 basic elements like nouns, verbs, vowels, consonants, he categorized them into classes. The construction of sentences, compound nouns, etc. is explained as ordered rules, operating on underlying structures in a manner similar to modern theory. In many ways, Panini's constructions are similar to the way that a mathematical function is defined today. Professor G. Joseph writes in his book, The Crest of the Peacock, which looks at the non-European roots of mathematics. Sanskrit's potential for scientific use was greatly enhanced as a result of the thorough systemization of its grammar by Panini. On the basis of just under 4,000 sutras, rules expressed as aphorisms, he built virtually the whole structure of the Sanskrit language, whose general shape hardly changed for the next 2,000 years. An indirect consequence of Panini's efforts to increase the linguistic facility of Sanskrit soon became apparent in the character of scientific and mathematical literature. In particular, he suggests that algebraic reasoning, the Indian way of representing numbers by words, and ultimately the development of modern number systems in India are linked through the structure of language. So essentially, Panini can be considered as a forerunner of the modern formal language theory used to specify computer languages. It is remarkable to think that concepts which are fundamental to today's theoretical computer science should have their origin with this genius around 2,500 years ago. It is believed that at a young age, Panini moved from his native village to a Himalayan village in Nepal, Panena Argakhanchi. In this isolated Himalayan wilderness, it is said that Panini prayed for Lord Ashutosh, better known as Lord Shiva, to grant him the boon to be able to read and write in the sacred language of Sanskrit. It is said that Panini meditated and performed penance for many years. One day, impressed by the devotion of Panini, Lord Shiva appeared before him to grant his wish. However, Panini was so immersed in his meditation that he did not notice the Lord's arrival. In order to wake Panini, Shiva sounded his damru and its beats reverberated across the valley, awakening Panini from his trance. Panini bowed to the Lord and the Lord blessed him with infinite wisdom, and then Shivji disappeared. The sound made by Shiva's damru kept resonating in Panini's ears. With this boon and divine blessings, Panini is believed to have formulated the rules of Sanskrit morphology, syntax and semantics in 14 verses. In fact, these are believed to be the sounds of Shiva's damru and are called Maheshwara Sutrani. These sutras are also known as Ashtadhyayi, meaning 8 chapters, the foundational text of the grammatical branch of the Vedanga or the Vedas. Ever since Panini Tapobhumi is considered as a spiritual place, and since the time of Panini, it has come to symbolize a place for penance, meditation, and the path to spiritual enlightenment. According to history, in 1859, the king of Kachi presented a large temple bell as an offering in the complex where Panini had meditated. He did so to tide over illness and sorrow and protect himself and his subjects. For centuries, the historical significance of Tapobhumi was only known to the locals of the area. So it was not until 1959, when a historical account of the place was published, that the outside world truly discovered Panini's close connection to Tapobhumi. This book was written by Salegram Pokhral and edited by Krishnamani Tripathi, the Vice Chancellor of the Banaras Hindu University. This book was published in Nepal by Pragya Pratishthan, and the forewords were written by the Pratishthan members Sovnath Sharma, Murlidhar Mishra, Ramprasad Tripathi. The literary scholars Leknath Podial and Modanath Prashrit also wrote forewords in this book. Enthused and encouraged by the significance of Tapobhumi, a Mahayagya was organized by the local community in 1962 at the place where Panini is said to have meditated. Attending the Yagya were the late Giriraj Pokhral, Shivram Pokhral, Janardhan Pokhral, Leela Hari Pokhral, and a Panditji from the neighboring village called Narayan Gautam. But it was not until 26 years later when Swami Krishnanand Paramahansa reviewed the Mahayagya in May, a tradition which is now maintained each year. In this hallowed place, Swami Krishnanand Paramahans also translated Srimad Bhagavat into Nepali as only the Sanskrit version used till then. He also wrote many religious books. In the month of July, the famous Sawan Mela takes place, attracting people from near and far. It is believed that close to the eastern side of Panini Tapobhumi, another enlightened soul, Nareshwar Brahmachari, made this area his home. He began to treat ailments using medical herbs and roots found in the forests of Tapobhumi. Nareshwar Brahmachari also consecrated a temple which houses the Murti of Lord Shiva or Gorakhnath, which he brought from Gorakhpur in India. that it was here that Shivji alighted from his mount, the bull, Nandi, to walk up the hill to bless Panini, as Nandi could not climb the steep slope. In fact, the entire hill resembles the shape of Nandi, and the hill is now called Kailash Dada. Some distance away lies the village of Pokhara Thok, where a school and college named Harihar Pathshala was established some 60 years ago to commemorate Panini. Now, apart from Sanskrit, all subjects are taught here. Set amidst beautiful, undulating landscapes with forests and streams, this area is rich in fauna and flora and is a repository of rare herbs and roots used for medicinal purposes from ancient times. Some of these include Sunakhari, Chiraito, Timur, Sanjeevani, Kurilo, Musligandha. Naturally, the place provides a pleasant respite during the summers and the monsoons to the pleasant climate. This area is also perfect for meditation and yoga. The true potential of this amazing tourist destination can, however, only be realized if the government of Nepal and the local communities provide a further impetus to create environmentally friendly tourist infrastructure.